Hello there. If you are currently not making the amount of money you think that is sufficient for you, then I've got some tips for you. My name is Charity Ezenwa Onwako. I'm the founder of WealthyGen. On here, we talk about financial empowerment and we share useful money tips to help you live financially well. If you are new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you get notified each time we share some new content. If you are watching this and you are currently making low income, I want you to know that living on a low income is just a phase, and this phase will pass. While you may not be able to control some things, there are some things regarding your finances that you can absolutely control. Having low income does not mean you cannot live a well and meaningful life. Yes, you can live well on low income. You can. And that does not mean cutting down on everything. I'm going to share some tips on what it takes so you can begin to live well and even save more money. There are some things you can do so you can make the best of whatever amount of money you are currently making, and at the same time making a way for you to grow past that low income phase. The number one tip that has always worked and will continue to work is to plan and stick to the plan. I really like a quote by an author named Alan Lakin. He said that planning is bringing the future to the present so that you can do something about it now. Planning is everything. It is the one thing you need in order for you to live well on low income and even begin to move beyond that low income phase into the future life you desire. Not just planning, but planning and sticking to the plan. When you plan, you can basically live on any income. That means you need to set up a budget. Yes, living on a low income requires that you have a budget. So if you are not used to setting up a budget every month, it's not late. You can start now. So create a budget every month and account for all of the incomes you make, regardless of how much it is. Account for them in your budget. And then you stick to your plan, which is your budget. Stick to your budget every month by tracking all your expenses against your budget. When you create a budget and track your expenses, it gives you a true picture of your overall finances. It tells you where your money is coming from and it tells you where your money is going. When you have a true picture of your finances, you can make adjustments. What that means is that you create a budget, you track your expenses and monitor where your money is going. Then you can reallocate your money to make sure that you're spending your low income in a way that makes the most meaningful contributions to your goals. Remember, our overall focus is to live well on a low income. That means living financially well without necessarily cutting down on everything, without jeopardizing our well-being. Living well on low income requires planning, and setting a budget is one way for us to do that. It also means we need to plan our meals. Plan your meals so that whatever amount of money you have allocated for your meals in your budget gets you the best balanced meals you can possibly get on that budget. Make a list ahead of time before you head out to the store so you're not just buying anything that catches your eyes. Do not focus on cutting costs, but focus on planning. Plan your meals ahead of time so that your small grocery budget gets you the best of everything you can possibly get on that budget. And because we are focused on living well on low income, you are also going to plan for your trips, your vacations, or anything that helps you to re-energize and stay in balance. So you're not going to be working year to year without taking some time off to re-energize and rebalance. Whatever it is that makes you stay in balance, you are still going to be able to do that regardless of your income. All you got to do is to plan ahead of time. An example is, if it's going to cost me $1,000 to take a trip to Hawaii in the summer, I'm going to take 1 year to plan it ahead of time. I'm going to start saving $85 every month towards that goal for 1 year, because it might be difficult for me to just come up with $1,000 on the summer, during the summer, just to take on a vacation. But if I plan ahead of time, I'm going to be saving $85 every month. That might be easier for me to do, so that at the end of the year, I have my $1,000 and I can easily take my vacation. The secret is to plan ahead. Now, as we plan for all of these things, my next tip for you is to rethink what your necessities are and set priorities. Because your income will not be sufficient for you to do all of the things you want to do at once, you need to figure out what your true needs are, your necessities. And then you're going to set priorities on which ones you're going to take on first. You're going to focus on your needs, that is your necessities, but something is not really a need or a necessity just because you really want to buy them, right? You're going to rethink what your necessities are. An example is, can I do away with the latest model of a cell phone and go for an older model? Absolutely. Can I cut down on buying paper towels and maybe use some regular towels that I can wash and reuse? Absolutely. Rethink what your necessities are. Think of it this way. If that thing you really want to buy can wait another month or two for you to take care of some pressing needs, then you probably don't need it at that point. Focus on taking care of your most pressing needs first before other things. That means you're going to make purchases to reflect what your values are. Do not make purchases to impress anyone, but make purchases based on your needs and your priorities. That is one tip that you can use to live well on the low income. Regardless of what your income level is, if you determine what your true needs are, if you determine what your necessities are, and then you set priorities, you will see your low income taking you a long way, helping you live well without jeopardizing your well-being. And finally, do not forget to save. That is my last tip for you today. And I know that it might seem very difficult for you to get some money out and save when money is already very tight, right? But in order for you to successfully do this, you need to find your motivation. What is that thing that you're saving for? What is that thing that you need money for, that you need to save for? Let that need be your motivation. Figure out what you need. What are you saving for? It could be that you're saving for retirement. It could be you're saving for an emergency. It could be that you're saving for big purchases. You could be saving for a trip or vacation. Whatever it is that you truly need money for, that you want to save for, let that need be your motivation. In fact, for you to successfully save, you got to plan your savings ahead of time. Build it into your budget and stick to it. I always advise that you save your money first before you start spending. So whatever it is that whatever amount it is that you're comfortable saving every month, save it ahead of time before you start spending. I also like to kind of play a trick on yourself, not really a trick, but pretend as if you don't have that money, so that when you save it, you don't feel it and you don't need it. Now, I made a full podcast episode on savings, on how to actually save successfully. I called it Your Savings Blueprint. I'm going to go ahead and put the link to that episode on the description so you can go ahead and listen to it. So do not forget, save, build your savings plan into your budget and stick to it. Now, this video was requested by one of my followers all the way from United Arab Emirates. I know you are watching. So regardless of your level of income, you can start now to plan and stick to your plans. Begin your planning by budgeting and rethink your necessities and set priorities. And finally, do not forget to save. These tips will help you to live well on a low income and put you on the path to that future life you desire. I hope you find these tips useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below, and consider sharing this video with your best friends. The best thing to do with a good knowledge is to share it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.